Hello and welcome to Pointless Point of View. My name's Callum Taylor and obviously I'm joined by the handsome one, Fraser Doig.
Salmon.
And this week, obviously, we've been taken over by the spider bug this week.
Good, we
Yeah,
have.
we're taken over. But anyway, as always, this is episode 12. You know what I mean? Getting there.
Slowly.
But this week we've played 2 games which we're going to review, we're going to discuss, but right at the end, just like what we did with Mission Impossible Fallout, we'll have a spoiler.
Spoiler section, yes.
Yeah.
It's for Spiderman. So we'll talk about that when we get there.
Yeah. But first of all, as always, we're going to hit it with the news.
As always.
You got to give it that. You got to do it, man. You got to do it. But first of all, we'll get gaming news out of the way. See, they've come out and said, because there was our theory going about, because they did it in Grand Theft Auto 5, that Red Dead 2 was going to have multiple players to play as. But they've come out and said that there's only one to play now. Whatever his name is. What's his
Arthur
name?
Morgan.
Arthur Morgan. He is the only playable character, which I honestly thought they were going to go with the woman and the Indian man that you see. I thought they were going to be the ones that you would be able to play as. But
see, I like this because
it's different from
well,
Grand
that's
Theft
the
Auto.
thing, yeah. Like, obviously, the other franchise that they're known for is GTA, obviously. And once they did this 3 character things in GTA 5, it's just people just expect that from Rockstar now, and I love the fact that they're basically trying to make it a completely different entity, where it's going to be like, I don't think it's going to be like nitty-gritty and it's like down to the single character. I just feel like they're trying to make it different, which I'm actually, because there's no point denying it, GTA 5 is a fantastic game.
Yes.
Right? The story isn't that great.
No.
Right? Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
But
I feel like sometimes playing that game, splitting between characters, takes you out at a moment.
A little bit, yeah. Like, obviously, it's a fantastic game, but the story isn't that good. And obviously, when you think about the story, when you think about Red Dead Redemption, the story is what grips you.
Yeah.
Like, even our last episode, like with the emotional stuff, we talked about the first Red Dead.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that they are just making it about a single character, because, like, when it comes to the multiple characters in GTA, like, everybody loves Trevor because he's fucking mental.
Yeah.
And everyone, like Franklin and Michael, they all like them. But, like, apart from, like, the last choice in that game, you know, where you choose to kill them, that's the only time that you really make, like, oh, I'm not going to get rid of them because they're fun. You're not emotionally invested in them to be, like, I never was. There might be folk out there who was. But when it comes to, like, when it came to Red Dead, and came to John Marston, you were emotionally invested, especially because of how heartbreaking the ending was.
Well, think about that game. Sorry to interrupt, but think about that Red Dead, for example. Say they had the same type of scenario that was, Rockstar's put in Grand Theft Auto, but instead you have a choice of John Marston lives and his son dies, and his son and wife die, or his son and wife get free and John Marston dies. You think if you had that option, would you think it'd have lesser impact?
I think it would take away from it. I like the fact that you don't get a choice in that, but the reason I'm saying about that is because I want to be completely invested in Arthur Morgan. Like, when it comes to Red Dead, I'm really looking forward to it, but I am more looking forward to the story than I am, even though we know nothing about the online, I am more looking forward to the story of it. So I want to be invested in Arthur Morgan. I want to basically go what he goes through in that game, whatever happens. So I'm happy that it's actually one single player.
Yeah, and also the size of the map, you're going to spend a lot of time moving your group and your wee area. Every time the police and the sheriff starts showing up, you're going to want to move, and you're going to traverse this massive open world, and having to split between characters to day settings would take me out of it, where I just want to be going about on my horse, talking to NPCs and building up a character here. But I feel like it's going to be one of those games where you
also,
have to play it single.
When you think about it, this could be over different areas. Like, this isn't one location. So obviously Los Santos is a massive map. But it is one city. So it makes sense to split between 3 different people, because they're going to be nowhere else but in Los Santos. It will be a different part of Los Santos, but they'll still be in Los Santos, where if there's more playable characters in Red Dead, one of them could be in Mexico, and one of them could be, they wouldn't even remotely interact. It's not like when you got a mission in GTA when you were Franklin and you were going to see Michael, and it's like a 5-minute drive.
Yeah.
Where if you were playing as multiple characters in Red Dead and one of the characters was in Mexico and they needed to go back and see Arthur Morgan, there's no cars, you're going to have to get in a horse and travel across all that. So I think having one playable character is probably the best choice.
Yeah, there's really
nothing more to say on that.
Yeah, we both agree on that. Activision are bringing out Crash Racing again.
Well, the people that remastered
Crash
Bandicoot and the ones that remastered Spyro, apparently their next project is Crash Team Racing.
Which could be funny.
Which would be, I love Crash Team Racing.
I know a lot of our friends would have it and play it, which to me would be hilarious.
I think it, especially if it's like if they do the other games as well.
Yeah.
Like, I always, when it comes down to kart racing games, there's always 3 that stick out in my mind, and that's Mario Kart, Crash Team Racing, and Diddy Kong Racing.
Oh, Diddy Kong, man! I totally forgot about that.
and Crash was like one of my favourites. Probably Diddy Kong first, but yeah. So I'm happy with it. And when they brought out the Crash remastered, all everybody said was like, "Oh, they should totally do Crash Team Racing." A
lot of people actually thought that it was going to be like a wee surprise thing in the game. They thought they were going to try and add it in.
I'd rather them take their time with it.
Yeah, hopefully it's no. I didn't see it being buggy or crappy.
It's more that like you want to be faithful. Like they obviously took they postponed Spyro, they postponed Crash for a while. It's because they want to be. Because if they fuck those games up, then folk are going to complain. You can't just accidentally fuck up.
I can't wait for this racing game to come out and you're like, it doesn't control the sim, it doesn't work. And I'm like, Fraser, calm down.
There's no jumping involved there, so it's
fine. But also, Pete Hines, big man at Bethesda, has come out and says that Wolfenstein 3 is coming and Bethesda are working on it.
Which is good.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it's weird to say that before. You know how at E3 they announced the DLC set in the where you play as
his daughters.
I just forgot his name for some reason now. So it's weird that they're saying that they're like come out and said they're working on 3 before there's more content released for 2. I would have waited a while and then come out with it.
But at the same time, do you think they've got the DLCs done? Do you think they've got like 1 or 2
Probably,
set aside?
I think they just want to release them at a certain time.
I think we'll get it this generation.
No, definitely not. It makes sense because like it's their first, like the 3 first person like franchises they have, which is Prey, Doom, and Wolfenstein.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll play it. It looks good.
I'll finish the second one and I'll finish the first one, so it makes sense for me to play the third one.
Yeah, why not? You love it. Yeah, sorry. A bit of TV news here. I was trying to read my notes there. Aaron Paul, obviously from Breaking Bad and Need for Speed.
Fucking hell, shit was Need for Speed.
I fucking love Need for Speed, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Aaron Paul has joined Westworld Season 3. Obviously, you've never seen Westworld.
I've not seen any of Westworld. It's probably a mistake, and I should see Westworld.
Yes, you should see Westworld. I've watched Season 1. I still need to get into Season 2. But fuck he's a good actor.
I like Aaron Paul. I feel like he's definitely suited to TV. Like there's a show on Amazon that he's in about
The Path,
and I've heard it's really good.
It's amazing.
And I've been meaning to watch it, but like I meant to start it, and then what was like Obsessed with on Netflix recently?
It was Paradise PD.
No, it was way before that. It was like the one.
Carbon Fibre.
No, I think you know what it was. I was gonna
Big
watch
Mouth.
The Path. I was going to watch The Path, and then Glow Season 2 came out.
Oh, of course.
So Glow,
it makes sense. I'm joking.
Glow's good.
I believe you. I started watching it, but that's a whole other thing. Anyway, obviously I've watched Iron Fist Season 2, and I'll cover that in my what I've done lately. But
spoilers. Spoilers for your own stuff.
But no, I've seen it. I'm not going to say anything about that. But at the end, it did what Marvel does. It gave us an end credit scene, and it is Matt Murdock, aka the Daredevil.
Is it the?
No, it was. There was there was a moment where they called him the Daredevil, but it was the Devil of Hell's Kitchen is what I was going to say, and then I went Daredevil, so it's a Anyway,
you just put that.
Yeah, just put that. Anyway, shut up. And at the end, of it, he's dressed in black.
In his
old suit, covered in blood, sitting in the confession at the church that he always goes to. Now, he's just like...
So this is a teaser trailer?
Teaser trailer. Yeah, sorry, it's a teaser trailer for it. Yeah, you can get on YouTube. And I've come out, he's like, I believed in the law. I believed in going to court and doing things the right way. And then he's like, I would rather die as the devil than live as Matt Murdock. And he's like bleeding everywhere, and that's where it ends. That's all you see, and it comes up coming soon. And it's got me hyped.
Can I pose a theory?
So much. Please do.
I think Bullseye is going to kill Foggy.
Oh, fuck. Nah, it has to be Karen. Please be Karen.
It has somebody, obviously, spoilers for Daredevil season 2, but like somebody close to him does die.
Yeah.
Right, but I feel like that's connected to him when he's Daredevil.
Yeah.
It has to be someone connected to him when he's Matt Murdock,
yeah,
because he says he would rather be the devil than Matt Murdock. So I feel like you're either it makes more sense having Karen die over Foggy, because
he's got a love
Karen's
connection.
not in the comics, right? Is she?
Yes,
but not as big
she's not as how she is.
Been there for the beginning.
Yeah,
but
she's the love interest. Like. Always kill the love interest. Don't kill the friend. But a lot of people and a podcast I was listening, we listened to Weekly Planet. They were like, "Why is he back in his suit?" And I found out that there's an image being brought out. You see Matt Murdock and he's black and he's hiding from the Daredevil. I did it again. Hiding from that. Where the fuck's that coming from? Hiding from Daredevil, which AKA will be most likely Bullseye in his suit, and his red suit. It has to be.
See, I think it's probably me not jumping to the extreme, but just maybe thinking about it too literally. Is that the suit is impenetrable, correct?
Yes.
To an extent,
yeah.
But if anybody can find a weakness in that suit,
it'd be Bullseye.
Right?
Yeah. But he's got it on. It's like he's wearing the suit, so he's clearly. There was a comic where he ran around as Daredevil, so they've clearly put that into the story.
But again, if it's going to go the whole like doing crimes as Daredevil, to blame as Daredevil, then why would he rather be the devil than Matt Murdock? Wouldn't that would be the time where Matt Murdock?
No, I know, I get that bit. But that's why I see him. Why he's wearing his black is because Bullseye.
I probably think I'll jump back into this with Daredevil, because Daredevil's been my favourite.
Yep.
And then and the first season of Jessica Jones, but I'm looking forward to it. Like I definitely should say that. I should.
Big Vinny's back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Big Vincent D'Onofrio, Big Vinny's back. Which I'm fucking.
Maybe something to do with that, because technically it was Matt Murdock that put Vincent D'Onofrio, Kingpin away, not Daredevil.
Yep.
Obviously Daredevil had a part in it, but who actually put him in jail was Matt Murdock.
Yep.
So it could have something. What happens if Kingpin gets out and
he's already out?
Right. Sorry. Well, he's already out. Right. What happens if he hires Bullseye?
Yeah, that seems like the most logical.
Obviously, all that will go through my head is that shitty Ben Affleck movie where it's Kingpin and Bullseye.
Oh my God! Please have the imprint of a bullseye in his head.
No,
please.
No, I'm begging you. Like obviously there was that rumor for ages ago in season 1 where the sniper on the roof that shot at his house was Bullseye.
Which would be really cool.
I'm really happy they're doing Bullseye. That's probably why I'm excited.
I would love a throwback where he's like, "I tried to kill you."
If it's true,
Yeah, I would.
Because he had a playing card, right? I think that's.
Yeah, he had a card on him. Yeah, which is awesome. Anyway, moving on. Movie news now. Sad news, if it's confirmed.
Let's not go sad news. Let's go confusing news.
Yeah, we're confused. It came out that Henry Cavill, the man who will be Geralt, the man who is physically the best image of a Superman I've ever seen in my life, has stepped down as Supes. And
is it the Supes?
No, it's not this Supes. I'm alright, fucking dick. But yeah, he's quit as Superman supposedly. Now, and there's been a statement where Warner Brothers are shifting their focus now on Supergirl, which I'll get into. But Henry Cavill's manager has come out and says, "Don't listen to the hype now. Wait until Warner Brothers."
Yes, so it was after everything, basically, the internet lost its shit.
Yeah.
And then it was Henry Cavill's agent put up the tweet about saying they were like, "We still respect Warner Brothers," and blah, like get the information about that. And then Henry Cavill
in the most Henry Cavill way
put up like a weird video of... Right, I'll let you explain the video because
Right,
I haven't seen it. I've only seen it once.
It's pretty much Henry Cavill just looking at the screen on his Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got big orchestral music, and he's sitting there and he's got like a kryptonite, it's like a workout top, but it's got kryptonite written on it, and he's just looking at the screen. He looks up to, you know, that sexy blue steel eyes, type looking, you know what I mean?
Okay,
and
sure, this is just you.
Yeah, alright. And he slowly lifts up a toy of Superman, and he's just staring, never changing his eyes, he's just staring. And just holds it for a while the music plays, and then puts it down again and just turns off. That has made me. I've watched that and I'm like,
I mean, I don't know, because I don't know.
Is he still in contract? So he's trying to sell as many toys as he possibly can for image rights.
This is the thing, right? Obviously, I don't want him to step down as Superman.
Yes, that's.
A little bit he does.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
The only right.
Fuck you.
Listen to
Fuck
me.
you.
The only reason why I say this, right, is that
You have no soul.
I feel like Henry Cavill deserves better because they've put him through shit.
Yes, but look at it, right? If it happens, we get a Man of Steel 2 with no Zack Snyder.
That's a dream.
Yeah.
That's a dream.
You know what I mean? As much as I want the Zack Snyder cut, I would like to see I would like a Man of Steel 2 without him, because we were meant to get Brainiac, and this all stemmed from supposedly there was talks of Henry Cavill doing a cameo in Shazam, which is something we all think is going to happen.
Because obviously, like, there's no point going into that, but it's basically Shazam worships Superman.
Yeah.
And apparently it had scheduling conflicts with something. And obviously they already fucked him once when it came to Justice League and Mustache Gate, right? So he clearly was like, you're not doing this to me again. Like, don't do this to me again.
Yeah.
And apparently also, because he took the role in The Witcher, that also had negative effects for Warner Brothers.
I don't know why they would have an issue with it, to be honest with you.
I think it's because maybe it's a long shoot and they want him, like, they expect whenever they phone Henry Cavill to him drop everything and say yes.
You are our Superman, you should be here, this is what happens.
And you can't do that to him. Like, he can't just be Superman, he has to do other things. And obviously with the Mustache Gate happening, he probably turned in and was like, I'm not dropping anything else, like, I'm not doing this again. And they were like, yes you are.
Yeah.
Yes you are.
Because like, look at Henry Cavill, right?
And he's like, well, I'm going to take my ball and go home.
Yeah, but look at him, right? He was known before Superman. Got massive.
Slightly.
Yeah, he was slightly known, and he got massive as Superman. But you look at him, he's in demand now.
Personally, yes,
yeah, right.
Especially.
So you look at Justice League.
Impossible.
Look at everyone that's in Justice League, right? No offense to those actors, but none of them really have anything that's like, oh, I need to go away and do this. They'll probably have indie things and they'll have movies on the horizon and stuff like that.
I'll agree with that because apart from...
Not even Ben Affleck.
I mean, Ben Affleck only does what Ben Affleck wants to do now.
Yeah, it's movie, burgers, movie.
But it's also...
Rehab.
It's also like movies he wants to direct.
Yeah.
Like his personal projects, because he's got to that stage.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot, she's not done anything since a while. Since whatever Fast she's in, and then Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa's in Aquaman, and that
he has random
that Frontier show on Netflix, and he was in a movie with Keanu Reeves, and like Cyborg and Flash, like nothing. Like Henry Cavill's the only one that's like
Ezra Miller's got Harry Potter shit.
Right, fair enough. Ezra Miller has Harry Potter shit, but I mean, if you think about who, like, well, I'll put it to you this way, right? Mission Impossible, Henry Cavill.
Yep.
Talks to James Bond, Henry Cavill.
Yep.
Get Out for the Watcher, Henry Cavill.
Cavill.
So he's clearly, like, you're right, he's getting roles from other places, and I think he just had enough of that shit.
Yeah. And he's the flagship, sorry to interrupt you, he's the flagship of, well, I know they're trying to put it out there as it's Wonder Woman now, and that's perfect because that was a good film.
That's because it made the most money.
Yeah, it will always be Supes. Anyone says anything about DC, there'll be fans, I'm a fan of Wonder Woman, but I'll always be like, Superman's the
Basically,
guy.
what me personally, what I think it is that is because it should be Superman that's at the top of this. It's because of the way they've wrote him.
Yeah.
It's not on Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill did the best he possibly could.
And he's a great Superman for what he's given.
But as soon as the script is just horrendous.
Yeah.
If you honestly were to watch Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and Justice League in a row, it would be like 3 different Supermans.
Yeah.
There's no point going into conversation about this because we've done this a million times. But
we still want
like I say, I'm a bit pissed by it.
Yeah.
But a little bit of me wants to get out.
Here's the thing though, is that the universe gone as a Justice League sense?
No, because like the Supergirl shit.
Yeah, but like Supergirl film, as we're getting into, Supergirl film it's on Kryptonite. It's on Krypton. Fucking hell, Jesus! It's on Krypton. It's not like, see how it's always been that thing from Man of Steel where there was a pod that was open. Yeah. They're not doing that. They're just like, she's on Krypton and that's it.
Honestly, when it comes to the DC universe, just deal whatever comes next.
Yeah.
There's no cohesiveness there, and I feel like we're just going to rant forever if we do this.
Before we switch on to the next bit, would you like to see Henry Cavill as the Sentry in Marvel's universe, aka just another Superman? And would you like to see Michael B. Jordan, aka Killmonger, as Superman?
No. I would like to see Henry Cavill in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, just to stick the middle finger up to DC as anybody. But I don't think Michael B. Jordan's the right person to play Superman. Nothing against him, I think he's a fantastic actor, just not.
And there's certainly black Supermen. There's Mar Valzel, which is just a fucking stupid name. But anyway,
nothing against that. I don't think he's the right actor.
No, at this point in time, I think I would fucking. I'm still rooting for him to be Vegeta in a live action Goku film, Dragon Ball film. But that's just me. Anyway, next bit of news: Captain Marvel.
Yes, good superhero news. So yeah, we got photos, and we're also getting a trailer
on Tuesday,
which
is just fucking.
Which we are recording this on Sunday, so if it doesn't go out for a while, we know it's known for like when somebody listens to it, because it could be past Tuesday and they're like, wait, what? So yeah, we're recording this on Sunday.
Just for future listeners, the Captain Marvel trailer was awesome.
Well, yeah, fair enough. I shoot it uploads it, so it makes sense. Good. I'm looking forward to it.
Skrulls.
I
think the Skrulls are the best of what they could have done. Because if they had done it like the comics, you would be like, why is there a tiny Thanos with pointy ears running?
Yeah, that's a very good point. Like,
he's on the beach. There's another Thanos here, people.
That's a good point. Like, it makes sense. Unless I heard this on another podcast, which was like the Weekly Planet, like we're saying, is that the reason why they don't look completely like they do in the comics is because a casual Marvel fan would think it's like a mini green Thanos.
Yeah.
Because they've got the chin thing.
Yeah.
So they made them slightly different, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I like their costume, like their clothes. I like their like face and everything. All the prosthetics.
One thing I'm super interested in is the morph.
Yeah. Oh, when they switch between.
How are they going to do the morphing?
Because I know at least one of them is. I can't remember his name, the actor.
Well, Ben Mendelsohn
is
apparently a high-ranking officer in S.H.I.E.L.D., but he also plays a Skrull.
And also maybe the guy that stabbed Nick Fury's eye.
Takes Nick Fury's eye. So, which, you know what I think's a bit weird, if this is true, is that if the Skrull is the one that takes his eye,
then he knows about Skrulls the whole time.
Exactly. So you would think that maybe at some point he'd be like,
hey Tony, I know you've been delusional with Thanos, but could you build some suits for tiny Thanoses?
Or more just like every so often through all the 20 movies, just like, you're a Skrull.
I know, like, he must have made a test. Like, this is Nick Fury. You're telling me you never had somebody in S.H.I.E.L.D. go,
It depends how they do it. Like, it could be actually Ben Mendel as a human takes his eye out, and then he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Because I think the only characters that are going to know about the Skrull is the Kree.
Yeah.
Which is what Captain Marvel is, and what Jude Law is, and what Ronan is, and what the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy is.
Yeah, because Jude Law is playing Marvel.
Which is the one who gives The green suit, correct? Or the one that
No, the green suit. The green suit is part of the Kree fighter force, pretty much. They're like the Power Rangers of the...
Who gives her the red suit?
I have no idea who gives her it.
Probably S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, it's no doubt. She's probably... Because, no offence, it is a spitting image of how Captain America's material looks.
I tell you what though, she looks cracking in it.
Oh,
so, like she nails that 100%. Like when it comes to Marvel and casting, they knock it out of the park every single time.
I would love to sit and see a casting of Marvel, like them sitting down and having people come in. I would love to see how they pick.
Literally, I don't think they've ever found someone that isn't the right person.
Yeah, because even the guy for Dark World, Thor, whatever. Even though he was a dick and he just hated doing it after a while, he still looked the part.
It just I feel like anybody they put in it just morphs into the character
so well.
Obviously, the makeup effects and all that, like the production design and everything like that helps.
Yeah.
But I think Brie Larson is a fantastic choice. See, she had a worry about it, like Chris Evans, where she's going to be typecast as this from now on. They probably had a conversation where it was like, you will. But just fucking do it.
Yeah, just do it. Fuck it. Like, no offence, if I'm typecast as Captain America, I would take that shit to the fucking grave. Seriously. If I'd never done another film other than Captain America and they were all awesome, I'd be happy.
Well, I'd say that's probably the only news that we've got.
Yes, that's news. Yeah. So we've got some great news. Something different, but we've got a sponsor.
We do,
and it's awesome. But obviously, I know of it. But you're a part of it, Fraser. You take part in this, so I'm going to hand it over to you. Explain to us what the sponsor is and where they can contact them and everything like that. Hit them up.
Well, we do have our first sponsor, and it is the Paramount Wrestling Academy.
Yeah.
It is a class that I do myself personally, and it's been fantastic for me. Obviously, for those who love wrestling. It's learning the part of it and being involved in that is fantastic. It's also helped me a lot with my fitness. I have lost a bunch of weight and it's helped me just feel better about myself.
Like, yeah, you're starting to look like a slim gym.
Yeah, it's doing something enjoyable and you're losing weight at the same time. So it's at Woodmills Leisure Centre.
Yep.
On Saturday mornings between the hours of 10 to 11. It's only £5 a session. So if you feel like it's something up your alley, just fire down to the area and.
Even if it's not, you want to be a wrestler or you just want to know about it. It's got a lot of fitness as well.
Exactly.
So it benefits more.
So if you consider doing it, then just fire down to the Leisure Centre on a Saturday morning. There's also a Facebook page which is just Paramount Wrestling Academy. You can put a message on it and see if you can get some information if what we said isn't got fought over enough. So yeah, that is our first sponsor ever, and I'm really happy about that. So I guess we'll get used to talking about sponsors at some point, hopefully, more and more. But yeah, we'll move on to our big topic, which is we played. So it's kind of a little two-parter here. Obviously,
it's three-parter.
Sort of, well,
because you've got we have the two games is Battlefield 5 and Spiderman.
Yes. Obviously, a lot of our people who have been listening to the podcast over two podcasts, we have talked about Spider-Man, so we're finally getting around to it. But before Spider-Man came out, there was a Battlefield 5 beta.
Yes, which we put roughly 4 or 5 hours into.
I think that we did. We played it for maybe about, I'd probably say about 6 hours maybe. It was like a good morning. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we talked about Battlefield 5 in one of the podcasts before about information, and we said the beta was coming out, and we said we were going to try it. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Battlefield 5 beta, and then we're going to move into Spider-Man. So, what did you think of the beta?
Fucking loved it. I loved it.
Okay.
I loved, I know it's a small thing, but they've added a really intensive weather animation to it now, which it wasn't in Battlefield 1.
Okay.
Because obviously we played both. We played that and now the beta, and I fucking loved it. I loved the new aiming mechanic because they've clearly changed that. But I hate how because obviously in Battlefield 1 you'd aim and you could click a button and it would put that person so everyone would see it for a certain amount of time. But in the beta, it's because we were told before you're meant to just look at them and they're meant to come up. but it seems like it only works for recon people, which I found really
I've saw
really
a couple
annoying.
of gameplay things where they do mark them, but I'm not exactly sure how it worked. Right, so that well, I'm okay. So you like the
how did you feel about the beta, Fraser?
I didn't think it was that good.
Ah, you suck.
Right, and I have my reasons. Right.
Is it because you had to shoot Nazis?
No. So the gameplay was good.
Yes.
Right. It felt like it didn't do anything different between Battlefield 1 and even Battlefield 4, which is the really the last ones I've played.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. What 4's the worst one?
Well, so the gameplay was fun, but it really wasn't any different.
No, it wasn't groundbreaking. Yeah, you're totally.
It's still like sniper galore, which is with a lot of first-person shooter games. So that's just not really something to moan about. That's just genuinely the way a lot of people play it.
Yeah, expect to get shot a lot.
The couple of things that annoyed me was that I didn't like the upgrading system.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there is no loot boxes in the game,
Yes.
which is fantastic. EA's has to have learned their lesson, right? But what you do is you still accumulate credits and then spend those credits on upgrades in your person and your guns.
Yeah.
Now, that's like you know what it is? It's like they started making Battlefield 5
With.
before Star Wars Battlefront came out.
Yeah, so they had loot
So
boxes.
and basically the plan was to have loot boxes in it. Then everything kicked off with Battlefield. EA went, take the fucking loot boxes out, but they kind of left the mechanic in.
Yeah.
So like having these credits is basically like you could at one point buy credits to upgrade your gun, but now there's no loot boxes, but they've left the credit system in. Because the credit system was in Battlefront.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same. Like it's like there's meant to be loot boxes, which I just don't like it. Like at the end of the day, if you want to put something on your gun, you just unlock it at a certain level.
Yep.
And I get it. You don't need to spend credits on it.
And you don't accumulate enough. Because we played a lot of that, and I think we got like 1 or 2 attachments for weapons.
Yeah, there was not a lot to it.
Yeah.
Of it.
And we did alright. We did alright in it.
Like
so
when you put the camo on your gun, like for skins,
yeah.
you have to put on each individual part.
Yeah, like
Which really didn't make any sense either.
I don't get that. Like,
I also feel like the upgrade system is a bit stupid.
is that the tree?
So there's like once you get to a certain level with a gun or a certain like medic, or it's probably just a gun.
Yeah.
And you then have to spend credits on an upgrade. Now the very first upgrade that I got was an upgrade that makes your bullets faster.
What?
But bullets are already fast. That doesn't make any sense, right? That's a stupid upgrade.
No, I'd understand if there was something. Nah.
You don't need an upgrade. You don't need an upgrade system in World War II.
Is that rapid fire?
No, it just said it makes like your bullets faster and do a little bit more damage. Or I don't even know if it did a little bit more damage. It just was like faster bullets. Like, what the fuck is that?
I can understand having a gun. Then you get an upgrade that turns it into a rapid fire gun.
Or if it was like quicker aim assist, like you can look at it quicker, or it was quicker reloading. That's fine.
Recoil stuff like that. Yeah.
But no, it was just like faster bullets. It's now obviously those things annoyed me.
Yeah.
The gameplay, like the 2 maps that we had, I preferred the city map over the snow map.
Yes, but that's because me personally, I felt that the snow map. I don't know if it was the graphics or something, but sometimes if you turn round, it feels like I'm fucking blinded at times.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I turned down my brightness, it just seemed like the white just overtook my screen.
Well, that's the thing about like the snow maps and that is that is more like that's sniper galore.
Yeah.
Like it literally, there's like.
Did we not die on the bridge more times from people outside? Because there was somehow magically we're running, because you run across the bridge, there's that big open wall between, and somehow we're getting killed going running across.
It was weird, like obviously because it's like the city one was more you could go inside a building and then you could get picked off someone who's really good at the game. Now, another problem I had with it, right, and I know that we had like a debate back and forth with this, is the revive system.
Right.
Now, I know revives are in a lot of games.
Yes.
Right? And sometimes some are longer than others.
Yeah.
But basically, this is designed for if you play with a group and one of your pals goes down, you pick them up.
Yeah.
Fine, that's in a lot of games.
Because you're literally screaming at your other player.
But sometimes, say someone's playing it by themselves, or you're never beside your friends all the time. Sometimes you separate. Because we've got friends that just run away and do what they want.
Yep.
I've done it myself, you've done it yourself.
No me. Okay.
And then when you die, you either have to wait for a random to pick you up, which never happens.
Yeah, but at the same time, like you're say like you just said, you're on the other side of the map and I'm over here. Right, you go down and I'm like, oh, I want to bring him back. I'm going to get points for bringing you back, and it keeps you alive. So it gives me the time to run gas over to you.
Think about it though, right, is that you won't actually, you wouldn't get to pick me up.
How?
Because there's no way you're going to survive that.
I know, but it gives me, there's people out there who would make it to you and would survive it. I'm just not one of those people. So it gives you the opportunity to stay alive, so I can bring you back, so you don't have to go up and then spawn back down, spawn into a different area again. You know what I mean?
I think the reason why it got on my nerves was that
randoms wouldn't pick you up.
That did kind of get on my nerves, but I think it was that I was spawning in, dying, having to hold the LT bar to revive, like getting myself again.
Like holding it to stop yourself dying, and then dying in general should be slow. I agree with you when it comes to trying to kill yourself. It took too long.
You just had to hold it down, right? And then I'd respawn, get shot immediately, and then have to hold it. After a while, I was like, just let me die and come back. Like, I'm going to die anyway.
Yeah, but it's the whole thing is, like I said, if there were 6 of us on, that would be a handy as fuck thing. It would. But randoms just don't pick people up. They don't do it. They're fucking arseholes. Because I remember we died inside in the town map. We died inside the house area C that we just kept fucking going to and taking.
But these 3 guys ran past us.
Yeah, we're just like,
and I mean,
we're literally like,
there's no enemies around us. But people are too busy focused on their own party. Like I say, if you're on by yourself, you're not going to get revived.
Yeah.
And you can't turn it off.
Yeah, they need to put an option in for that.
Because I would rather have it turn off. I would rather just die and then respawn immediately on
like Battlefield 1.
Yeah,
I feel if Battlefield 1 wasn't dead, we'd still be playing that. But anyway, how did you feel about the modes? Remember how we had just the running gun shooting, and we had the ones where you try and keep a position.
I like the Conquest. The Conquest was fun. It was enjoyable. We did one. We did like one night, and that was fun. It did take a while, but it was fun. Like it felt like a multiplayer thing that had a purpose.
Yeah, but at the same time, we were both like, "What do we do? We're here. This is still getting taken. What am I missing?" Nobody's like, and I kept dying, and you were like, "Are you alright, Carl?" I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
And then in the regular multiplayer, it's just the regular multiplayer.
I love that.
Like, it was fun. Obviously, there was nothing to do with the battle royale. Kind of happy about that.
And also, there was a building mechanic. I just totally.
Yeah, I knew about that.
Yeah, but you knew about it.
The building with barricades.
Yeah. That's a fucking handy as fuck thing.
That's good, and you get points for it. That's the thing. There is stuff they've put in it which is enjoyable, but there is also flaws.
Yeah, we should have got a shot of the battle royale.
That I don't care about.
No, but they should have, because Call of Duty has just brought out theirs for people to try.
Apparently, it's really good.
Yeah, it's like what PUBG's meant to be, but better.
But we haven't played it, so we can't say anything. Like,
people can't see, but I am smiling.
You might need, but this is you still think I'm going to get it.
Yeah, I know. You will.
No.
Yeah, you will.
So, that's how we feel about the Battlefield beta.
Do you think, in all seriousness, it's worth going out and paying full price for this game when it only has slight differences between that and the last one?
I need to see more.
Yeah.
I need to see more.
Yeah.
I really do.
Because I was going to put out my, well, I done lately, but I'll just say it now because it's only like 5 minutes. But I've played the demo for FIFA for like 20 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And it's the same thing where I'm like, is this really worth buying £60 if it's the exact same game?
Yeah, fair enough.
You know what I mean? So I want to see more of Battlefield where I go, oh motherfucker, that's really, really good. But then if I'm like, is it the Battle Royale I want to try? But then I should just go get Call of Duty.
Yeah. Fair enough, that's a very good point.
But so we're moving on now to Spider-Man. Non-spoiler.
Non-spoiler Spider-Man.
So I'll probably speak less than most times. So
you should learn to control yourself.
I'm getting there. If I realise now if
you were to ever do this podcast by yourself,
I'd
just tell people just whatever it is, and if you've not seen it, just don't listen.
Imagine if we got famous and we did a live episode.
It'd be the only episode I would do.
If you want this thing spoiled.
You cannot.
I've learned if I shut, just don't talk.
I just have to be there and just be like, no.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, let's talk about fucking Spider-Man since we've been hyped about this for a while. Right, so, it's fucking good.
Like, graphics. Come on, we'll just get into it. To begin with, right? Obviously, we're given a wee montage moment at the start of the game. We're given that wee introduction, like it's going through his life, you know, like that bit. And I watched that and see if you fucking fine tooth like look at that bit. There's so many Easter eggs in that moment.
Oh, we can talk about Easter eggs and we get into spoiler, right? So basically, I've got a few questions that I'll just rattle out, right?
Wait a minute.
Fuck's sake.
A man's not allowed to take a drink, is it not?
Yeah. Did it live up to the hype?
Yes.
I agree.
Yes, completely.
So anybody that is a bit wary about it, don't be.
I've got another question. It's controversial.
Okay.
Was it better than God of War?
It was on par. It was on par.
Right. So anyone who went out, I know this might be a review, we're kind of just hyping it.
They went out and got it on day one.
No, not. What I was going to say is, anyone who went, I didn't care about God of War. I went out and got God of War and you're like, oh my god, God of War! And you're now wary about Spider-Man, don't be. Anyone who doesn't get Spider-Man, in my personal opinion, is an idiot.
Definitely get it. It is fantastic. Like, people that are going to get it, like, there's understandable folk that can't chop money at wars, but I recommend put it on your to-do list.
Yes, it has to.
Let's actually talk about
let's start. On you go, Fraser, since I'm Mr. Spoiler, you hit me with it. Tell me the story.
Well, I'm not telling you the story. So, alright, how did you feel about this? Right, fuck it, the most important part. How did you feel about the swinging?
Awesome. The swing, because you actually feel, it sounds weird because we don't actually feel it, but you feel like you're actually attaching to the buildings.
It is very momentum. It's not super momentum based. It's not like Spider-Man 2 momentum based, but it's like an in between of the just like push a button and swing and the momentum based.
But also, I like the fact that if you fuck it, if you didn't get high enough to swing down and stuff like that, and you're about to fuck it, you get that whip, it's like you shoot it to something and the double R1 or double R2, and it gives you that momentum. If you hit it right, you can fucking. But swinging around a building, just swinging around that one building, feels so awesome, so perfect to do, because you actually feel like you're Spider-Man. Like, I know in some games you're like, I didn't really feel like you're actually doing anything in these games, but when you're Spider-Man, you feel it.
For me, when it comes to the swinging, obviously a lot of the games had it, and like some are better than others. But for me, what makes the swinging amazing in this is the tiny little things. So when you swing and come across a building, he runs across the building and you keep going. You don't just hit the building. Yeah. Right? When you come across, you're running up a wall and you're going to start swinging, and there's like the steps like outside that you see in New York, as he goes he catches each step and then comes up to the top, and then you can swing.
Oh, you mean if the fire escape?
Aye, the fire escape's on him.
Yeah.
He, instead of just
running up it, he actually whips to each bit to keep him across.
The ones when you go round a corner and that it's got that you don't just sort of swing in a motion. He angles his body when he goes round a body.
Yeah. Have you ever seen it when you went around a corner and there's clearly a billboard on the other side, and your character he curls his body?
Yeah.
You ever see? I was like, when I first saw him do that, I was like, is he just being weird? And you come round and you, oh, that's why.
Same with like the fire escape ones. You know how like if you're ever coming along a side way of a fire escape, instead of just hitting it, it goes through it.
And it's the same with the water towers.
Yeah.
Like if you hit it right, you actually go under the water tower. The wee cinema camera moment.
It does like the turny thing. It goes through a gap. Like it's just small little moments like that add. It doesn't feel like whenever you hit an object, it's like a stop. And
I feel like you feel it and see it more when you hit the woodland area. Like you're building, and you're trying to go across the park, and you're like, oh shit, you have to actually go down towards the trees to whip onto something.
I've fell in the water many times.
Yes.
I've fallen in the water.
I'm going to say this, stay out of the water as Spider-Man. Because I felt that it feels like he's weighted down when you're in. You ever notice that?
When it comes to the water, I will tell you the worst part in the water in spoilers. Because we can't talk about it.
Okay.
So we've talked about the swing, and the swing is fantastic. I will have to talk about a flaw.
Right.
Is sometimes the camera gets on my tits.
Yeah.
Is that I feel like he's moving so fast that the camera is catching up a bit, and sometimes it's a bit wibbly wobbly. Not all the time, but there's a couple of times where you're trying to angle something and it's a bit wibbly wobbly.
Yeah, because it's like when you're in a fight and you're like, okay, I'm dying, I just swing at the top of something. It's like the camera won't turn, so you're just webbing at something and it doesn't actually get to it. That really infuriates me.
Sometimes the camera is a bit annoying, but you can't, like, obviously that mechanic, like the swinging thing it must be, that's probably what took them the longest to get.
And I'm going to say it, I feel at the start of the game, anyone who gets this from now, obviously from me putting this out, is the fact that we're going to Zuckerberg again. I feel like it's something you need to take a grain of salt with it at the start, because it will annoy you if you didn't get it right. Because remember, there was times when I was doing it and I was losing my shit, and I'm like, why wouldn't it go fucking attach to things? Why wouldn't it go faster?
This is how I'm looking at it, is that it's easy to do, but it's hard to master.
Yes, perfect way to put it. Yeah, and
because by the time I got to the end, like,
swing masters.
It's not. I wouldn't say I'm the swing master, but I definitely like going from one end to the map to the other. I know exactly what ways.
I can turn now. Like, I know it sounds weird.
It's such a little small thing.
I know, but like you see a building, so obviously New York, it's fucking like up, down, sideways, tiny gap. So there was times where I was first in it and I tried to do it and I'd bounce off the wall. But then I realised that because it's such a small gap, you can actually literally jump while running. It's so cool.
Right, okay, keeping on the swing end, because it's clearly a crucial part of it. How did you feel about New York? How did you feel about the world? Like, I don't want to say the world, but basically how did you feel about the surround? Because at the end of the day, you're Spider-Man, it's incredibly fast-paced. I would say it's probably got to take no less than 5 minutes to get from one end of the map to the other, because you're moving so fast, especially if you're building up a decent amount of speed. So how did you feel about New York?
And honestly, I felt like they just took a picture of New York, what New York is, and put it in a game. Because there's times where
I've listened to certain YouTube channels where they've said that it's not down to a T in New York, like because people who live in New York. But from an outside perspective,
because I remember landing, and you obviously get that the New York charm that you see in all the films where they're like, take off your mask, no one cares. Like that attitude, I'm just looking at the guy, it's clearly standing there giving no fucks, just telling me this. And then you're just running down the street or like round an alleyway, and you'll see like a guy just sitting on a bench with a coffee, which I obviously took a picture of and put it on Twitter.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's sitting there, and you turn around and there's just like, this isn't to talk down about New York, but it's a place that's quite compact, and you saw rubbish. And I went, alright, there's rubbish mechanics, that's cool. But then you see, like, I ran into a bag and a rat flew out. Like, ran right past me, and I was like...
That's really cool detail.
And I was like, what? Like, fucking...
The one thing I liked about it the most is, obviously, when it comes to superhero games, everybody basically, like, puts it to one standard, and that's the Arkham games.
Yeah.
And one thing I really loved about Spider-Man is it genuinely it felt like you were, even though it's like a bigger world, and there is like it's meant to be like part of a universe. Well, that's not really spoiling it because they don't really do it in the game, but it felt like that was your town, that your city. That was like Spider-Man, like, because it felt like he didn't matter. It felt like the people interacted with him. It felt like he literally was part of it. Where obviously in the Arkham games it felt like a little bit different. I'm kind of just going off that fact of a really good superhero game. It felt really lived in, and it felt like he'd been around for ages.
You feel like playing as Spider-Man, you feel like it's the character clearly is someone who loves.
He's definitely the friendly neighbourhood Spider-Man. 100%. They captured that perfectly.
Just even randomly walk up to people, like you said, you push square.
Yeah, like the fight, the punch button.
He
goes around and he goes like, hey, and he goes high fives people, and he's like, Satnan.
That's
and you can like pose for selfies with people, and you can like high five them, and it's about interacting. It just feels like any sort of part moving around, and obviously there is certain locations on the map that is like Easter eggs, and you're like, oh my god, this is in the game.
We'll get into it. I loved it. There was a moment I was swinging like nobody's business, and I fucking landed on a roof. And like obviously you've seen it in TV shows where like they hang out on roofs, but it's just this old lady was sitting there with a cup of tea on a roof, just sitting there, and I'm looking at it like, is this what people in New York do? They just sit on roofs with cups of tea, and to me, I really feel like they've went, Ken, we've got Spider-Man, we know who Spider-Man is, what he does. Let's look at New York and see why people love New York and hate New York, because there's certainly, if I lived in New York, I would be like, fucking, there's rats everywhere, pigeons everywhere, there's fucking, you know what I mean? There's homeless everywhere, which is just a natural occurrence in life anyway. But there's certain places like Harlem, which it's in the Brooklyn area where it's really compact, so you can see why certain people are act a certain way and how they talk about it in real life, and you go there in the game and you're like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it completely feels lived in. Right, okay, so we've got
that was swinging
world, like, I mean, we could talk about the visuals, but it does look amazing. Like, nobody's going to come out and say that it looks shit. It does not look shit.
How do you feel about the fighting?
Yeah, that's probably the next big topic to talk about. It's definitely Arkham based. Like,
yes,
a lot of the fighting games.
And it's very Sunset Overdrive.
Definitely, like, you can see that. It's made by the same, but it's definitely like counter based. But the one thing I love about the fighting is that it is
Spider-Man.
It's
so Spider-Man. It's unreal.
It is. It's like 100%. Like all the finishing moves and all the like you've been able to like grab something and swing around and hit somebody with it. And
as we never said before, but as you're doing fights, you get like do 10 moves of this, do this and this, like certain things to get more rewards, more bonuses. I love that this is so Spider-Man, where I'm fighting a group, and I went, wait, I have to get 10 moves. So this is a move where you punch and you slide under.
Yeah.
Right? And I did it 10 times to one guy.
I did the same, but there was a move where you had to lift them up with your webs.
Yeah.
And I just did lifting to what the same guy. Like, you cheat the system of that, but
it's just
it is like the fighting is. It's not like nothing we've never seen before, but it is, like you said before, it is so Spider. It's basically the way he fights.
And it's quite funny that I feel like none of the movies, the movies we've had lately, capture his fighting, right? That's always something
from Homecoming.
Not even in Homecoming, I don't think it captures it to a T. Obviously Andrew Garfield's was the worst one because it was this evil Spider-Man, but this game, they've clearly put their time in, they've looked at it and goes, okay, he's very, because in the Marvel Universe he has his own fighting style.
He's agile, basically.
Yeah, and they put it in where you can flip over them, shoot, like, I love jumping over somebody and then shooting behind. Like, you see how if you dodge a move, you web them. You turn around, that's one of the moves, you're like, what the fuck? Okay, I've just webbed this person. And it's very Spider-Man to be able to tie him up, fight three of these guys, then go back to that guy while he's struggling, because most games you would see them get caught up in like Batman's Batarang, and they'd be there for a couple of seconds and then they'd break out of it. Whereas you see the characters actually struggle with the webs how they should be.
He also has a we'll not go into. There's a selection of gadgets. That's not going to be a spoiler. But you could use them in the combat too, and that adds like completely different.
Yeah.
Like one of my favourite things to do, right, and I found this hilarious, is that there's something called like impact webs, which is like a stronger version of your regular web.
Yeah.
And if you hit somebody with an impact web close to like a car or like a post box, it would stick them to it.
Yeah.
But you can also throw things. Like you pick them up with your web, you swing round, and then you throw it at them. But if you stick somebody to a post box, you can pick up that post box and swing it round.
Yeah.
With the man still attached.
See, when I first did that, I thought it was a glitch. I really did. I was like, what the hell? But see, the first time I did it was I attached someone to a motorbike, and then I picked up the motorbike, swung it, threw it, and it fucking explodes. And I'm just like, because you sent me a picture, because we had a conversation, and I don't know if we should have it now or later.
What?
About Spiderman, he doesn't kill.
Well, Spiderman, that's not a spoiler.
Yeah,
Spiderman doesn't kill. Because so as well as the fighting, there's stealth sections.
Yes. And
the stealth sections are very, again, Batman, they're very Arkham, but with a Spider-Man flair. And whenever you knock somebody off a building, he webs them. Like they don't die.
Yeah, like everyone we know, like us, went to check.
Yeah, they've looked over and you see them stuck to a wall. There's a couple of times where they didn't.
Yeah.
But most of the time they're stuck to a wall. And I feel like the stealth mechanics is also incredibly fluid and fun as well.
I feel sometimes the wall crawling could have been is very problematic when I was walking.
I never used it that much, to be honest.
Well, because obviously you can climb up the wall, like crawl up the wall, and then you can push square to get a stealth from the bottom. And I did it a couple of times, but see, the way you're aiming, and then you push forward, your character, if Spider-Man's looking to the left, and you push forward, he's going to go straight to the left, because that's where he's facing. So it took me a while to try and flick it, to make sure he's pointing where I'm looking, or I just got fucked up. But I loved stealth. I messed up a lot of the do this, do that for extra rewards, because I like to go into areas and just go doop 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 doop, haha, caught you, and then run away, which fucking annoyed me at times where you didn't get a certain achievement for. But what are you going to do? What else was I going to say? Did you have any glitches, Fraser?
Well, no, I maybe one.
Okay. What was your one glitch, Fraser?
The one glitch I had where it's the one I sent you a photo of.
Yeah.
Where I webbed a guy on a wall, and then something set on fire, and the fire was up on the wall, and he was still webbed to the wall doing like this.
Yeah.
And there was like hundreds of fire around him, and I sent you a photo like saying Spider-Man doesn't kill.
Yeah.
That's maybe as close as I got.
Well,
you had a couple.
Yeah. Well, I was fighting someone. This is like the rest are kind of the same, but this one I was fighting someone, and it comes to the end of it, and the person's face started to disappear. It was like they had a disease where it was like their face was melting away.
That's kind of normal-ish. I mean, I thought the one that I thought you were...
How was a guy's face fucking melting away normal?
I felt like the one you were going to bring up was when you had when you had one enemy left to kill. And
5 times!
Inside a wall.
5 times that happened. I'm like, where the fuck... Okay, I've killed everyone. Why hasn't this moment... Well, I've not killed, I've knocked out everyone. Where does it end? And then I'm going around the corner and there's a door. And there's a guy going, hey, I'm going to get Spider-Man, just running inside this door clearly. Because you can see him, like, his hand coming through the wall, and he's just like, I'm like, what do I do here? Like, I can't hit him, he's not going to come through. And then there was another one where I was fighting someone, and then I webbed, this is one I didn't tell, I webbed the guy with impact to the wall. He didn't stick to the wall, he went through the wall, and landed normally on the other side.
See, you had a lot more than me. I genuinely had no problem.
I feel like because you spent 65.
Because I got the offer.
Aye, it's like Overwatch or again.
I don't know, but I mean, at the end of the day, that doesn't take away from it.
No, God, no.
How? This isn't something we could talk about that isn't spoiler. There's no surprise that obviously Peter Parker's in the game.
Oh yeah, it's been
no way. Yeah. Right? I mean, I've heard that he's Spider-Man.
Yeah, I found it.
And Aunt May's in the game. and Mary Jane's in the game.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the representation of them?
And
And J. Jonah Jameson is in the game, which you kind of expect, so that's not a spoiler. How did you feel about? Did they get them? How did you feel it?
right.
Yeah.
Aunt May, she's Aunt May. Like she came off perfect. I feel, because it's how you feel in the comics. She would always reference, "Oh, you're so much like them. You're so much like this. You're so," and she's very doting and worrying and all that stuff. And it's just how her character's meant to be. I don't think that was really that hard to pull off.
Mm-hmm.
MJ, on the other hand, she is a complete, like, how she acts towards Peter and Spider-Man, aka both of them, at the same time, because they're same person. Spoilers. That's normal, but where she, like, what she does and all this, how she plays out, isn't normal for her character.
I'm happy about that because I feel like, especially in the way the world that we live in now,
Yeah.
is that she's no longer the damsel in distress.
Yeah. I wouldn't have liked been having to save that person all the time, and I like.
I feel like she can stick up for herself.
Yeah, clearly. Not that Peter fucking, like every guy though, whose worries.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I like the representation of her. But I said, this isn't really a spoiler, but I said I would have been very annoyed if she didn't say her usual thing that she always says to Spider-Man, which it's something that Peter references in it when he knows, oh my god, she knows she doesn't like me. She's annoyed with me right now because she doesn't call him Tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas that's the MJ thing. She's always called him Tiger. Now, when we first get her and first see her and all that stuff, she never really says it, which is clearly explained in the game why.
Yes.
But like, I'm just sitting looking at it like, you better say this, you bitch. I will fucking hate you if you never say this. And then she said that. I was like, woohoo! Fuck aye.
So what about Peter?
I liked the fact that we finally got to see smart Peter in this. Like, obviously you see it in his apartment at the start and all that stuff, but it's nice to see him being a wee bit, I don't want to go on and say what he does, but it's nice to see him playing it different, whereas usually you always see him, it's Peter, he's at the...
It's just Spider-Man,
yeah,
not Peter Parker.
Yeah.
You get both.
It's really nice to see him interact as both.
You're invested in both.
I was trying to say so. I'm trying to figure out a way to say it without spoiling.
Yes, of course.
You know what I mean?
But you're invested in. So you're invested in when Peter is Spider-Man, but you're also invested in when
Spider-Man is Peter. Yeah, and it's his interactions and how he's portrayed is brilliant because it's how we know him as a comics. He's that guy that cares so much about everybody, and even when he's like to Aunt May, it's like even the wee things like how are you doing and. Has it been busy? Like there's just this stuff like aunties and like nephews and all this stuff. They say to each other, and it's how he cares, and I like that representation of him. So it's not brooding, hair flicked Spider-Man. It's not like oh my god, I've been doing Spider-Man for 8 years. I'm so tired now. Like it's nice to see a happy go lucky Spider-Man. But yeah, I thought it was a fucking perfect representation of the character.
Fair enough. Well, I guess I've only got one last question for you, mate. Is what you done lately?
Well, I've no movies. Oh wait, no, I watched a movie called Next Gen on Netflix, which is in the same vein as Big Hero 6, and it's fucking. By the way, it's really good. It's actually really good. It has its wee cheesy moments, but that's to be known and.
Now.
Oh my god!
Well, I mean, like I said, for Spider-Man, man, so
yeah.
I've only got one question to ask you, is what you done lately?
Nothing.
I'm joking.
I'm joking. I watched one movie, and it was on Netflix. It's called Next Gen.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the same vein as Big Hero 6.
Is that the animated one? Did you watch it with your son?
Yeah, my son gives me an excuse to watch animated films.
I've seen the trailer for it, and there's only one bit that made me laugh.
What was that?
The bit with the gate.
Wee! Yeah.
Because I'm an inner child, I could not help myself.
Yeah, there's a couple of moments like that, but it's worth watching. I had a child, so I've got an excuse. So yeah,
I might watch it just for the gay bit.
yeah, but it's worth it. It's very worth it just for that. And that's literally it for that. But TV, I finished Archer season 9, which
Yes.
you've still to finish.
I am 2 episodes in.
You get it done because yeah, it's awesome. And obviously we've spoke about season 10, which we'll just keep between us.
Yes.
But worth the watch. Anyone who's an Archer fan or anyone who hasn't watched Archer but thinking about it, get it done.
Recommend.
Yeah, because we've got a Krieger for a friend and it's funny.
It's a good show.
Yeah, and I binged season 2 of Iron Fist.
Which you explained before with the Daredevil.
Yeah.
Is it better than the first?
Yes.
Is it on par with like Jessica Jones and Luke Cage?
Season 2, yeah. It's not Daredevil. I mean, Daredevil was at a high peak.
Even Jessica Jones season 1? Because I'd say that's Daredevil.
Yeah, that's Daredevil level. But Luke Cage has never been there. But this is on par. This is on par with the season 2s of Jessica Jones and Luke Cage.
Has it redeemed itself?
Yeah, I feel there's moments in the story which I won't go into where I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck are you doing? This is fucking stupid. But that doesn't take away from the story. I feel like it's a good story, and I like the director.
Has the actor redeemed himself?
Yeah, because it's because of the director. I've defended season 1. I'm not going to do it again. The director for season 2 has got the actors to do their own fight scenes. You know what I mean? So usually you'll get like a stunt guy comes in and does it all. And,
yeah, we've explained a bit before what happened in season 1.
And they got him to do it, and it shows. It shows so much because in season 1 there's like, it feels like everything's slow motion, like Matrix, like movements. Obviously nobody can see me doing the movements that I'm showing you, but
I can see
yeah, you can see it. That's all that matters. But in this one, there's none of that. There's none of that moment. It looks like you're watching 2 actual people fighting. So yeah, it redeems itself. The story's good. The character's good. Ward, his brother, his story arc in this was amazing. He annoyed me at times, but that's just because he's a whiny bitch. But his story arc was so good.
Okay.
Returning actors like his sister and the bad guy, the Davos. He was in the first season, so it's not really a spoiler. Davos annoyed the fuck out of me, but it's just his character in general, and the sister's just another whiny bitch. Best part of it though for me is Typhoid Mary. She's the baddie. This is not a spoiler, it's literally what they said before it came out. And I can't remember the actress that played her, but it's the last Star Trek movie. See how they put that blonde haired woman just in the underwear for being the sake of the underwear. Yeah. She plays it, and she has a DID, like distinctive disorder or whatever the fuck it's called, about how to pronounce it. So she's got split personality.
Right.
And just seeing her switch between, you're just looking at her like, fuck, you are so fucking good at this. Like, you're such a... Like, you see other characters, like Colleen Wing, I can't remember her name, but she's really good. And then you've got Danny, who's alright. But you see this Typhoid Mary character coming in, and you're just like, wow, you are so fucking talented that you should not be in... Like, no offence to Marvel, but you should be doing something else. So, yes, definitely worth a watch. If you've seen the first one, if you forced yourself to watch the first one, watch the second one because it's worth it. Other news on TV, I watched the first episode of the Sons of Anarchy spin-off Mayans, and anyone who's a Sons of Anarchy fan really needs to watch this because it's on this. I feel like it's going to get to the same par as how good Sons of Anarchy was. So yeah, give it a watch. Other than that, I've played 3 games mainly this week. I played Daisy, which I know you love.
We talked about it last week, yeah.
So I'll not go into that. I've played a shite load of Ark Survivor Evolved. Again, spoke about it a lot. So obviously it's Survivor with dinosaurs. And also I've played Spiderman. That's pretty much it for me. Oh fuck. I finally got a copy of Han Solo though, so I'll definitely be watching that for next week. But what have you done lately, Fraser?
Well, played Spider-Man, so that's a given, so I don't need to talk about that. I recently bought Tomb Raider.
Oh, you bastard.
So I have that to play.
Can't wait to play that.
Played about an hour of it. Maybe less than that, maybe about 40 minutes.
You were sleeping, while you were playing it.
I went night shift. I played about 40 minutes of it. I can't really say anything about it just now, so probably next episode I probably will have more information.
Yes.
I watched 2 stand-ups on Netflix, which I highly recommend.
What are they?
It's Daniel Sloss, and he is a Scottish boy, actually from Fife.
Aye.
Yeah, he's got 2 comedy specials on Netflix, and they are genuinely hilarious. And I 100% recommend it, and it helps that he's from Fife.
Yeah.
I also watched Oceans. I finally watched Oceans 8.
And? Come on, say it. We agree on this. We haven't said it on the... did we say it on the podcast?
You've said you've mentioned it. You said you watched it and you were disappointed that you were going to wait till I watched it.
How do you feel?
I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it, but it did not feel like an Oceans movie.
Yeah.
It does, and it's nothing against it being all women. I have not a single problem with that. It's that it didn't. The best thing about an Oceans movie is about the whole team.
Yeah.
And
it did not seem like that.
It did not seem like that at all.
Those characters were there to help, but they didn't. Like the focus was mainly on Sandra Bullock and
Kate Blanchett.
Like that was like
that's it. Yeah. Like it's weird. If you want to give it a bash, like go in yourself, and you kind of, especially if you've seen Oceans 11, 12, and 13, you will actually understand what we're saying.
And if you think we're wrong, tell us.
Yeah, please tell us. But I was a bit disappointed with it. I'm glad I never saw it in the cinema, because that would a waste of money, especially because I recently saw a movie in the cinema.
Which we'll get to next time.
I'm just going to say it, but I won't talk about it. I went to see Predator.
Yep.
And it's an interesting one. I'll put it like that. We're going to get more into it next week.
Yep.
But it's an interesting one.
Is that
it? That's it.
Sweet. Right. You can find us on Twitter at @OfPointless.
Mm-hmm.
You can get us on YouTube at Pointless Point of View. We also have an Instagram now, which is of Pointless Point of View. And just leave us a like, share it, leave a comment if you think what you think of the show, if you think any tips on what you think make it sound better, anything you feel like we could do on an episode.
Any recommends for if you have ideas for an episode, please let us know.
But that's the normal episode finished now,
well,
so it's time for spoilers.
Yes. So disclaimer from here onwards, what you are listening to, this is Spider-Man spoilers. So if you don't want to listen to it,
or you can't control yourself, turn it off.
Right. So spoiler territory.
Yeah. Spoiler warning is in effect. Right. Okay. They all die. Sorry. Right.
Right. Okay. Right. Where do we start? Where do we bloody start?
Right. When the game starts, you get the montage.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I'm just going to put these fucking Easter eggs out there. Tony Stark and Reed Richards is referenced.
Mm-hmm.
So they're on little post-its.
You sure you don't want to do the Easter eggs at the end?
No, because I'll forget about this. I'm just saying it now. Let me be.
Those two are just
name them out. We'll work up to it. It's more of a story thing. Anyway. But there's also Spider-Man issue 1 comics, which I found really weird. That they've got Spider-Man comics and a Spider-Man universe. Which is
Logan.
I get. Yeah. Oh, wait. Does this mean this is in part of the Logan universe?
No.
Oh. Anywho, so how did you really feel? I know how you lied in the review, but tell me how you
lied in the review. Well, I still loved it. Right. Okay. So, since obviously if you're listening to this, you've played it, you've
or you don't care
it,
about
or
spoilers.
you can't control yourself. So, right. Well. So Peter Parker works with Dr. Octavius.
Yeah, straight out the bag. This is where I was trying to go. It's nice to see him not at the Daily Bugle anymore, because he is working with a scientist.
Yeah, he's working with Otto Octavius, who becomes Doc Ock.
Yes, who looks like Fraser's dad.
He doesn't look like my dad. But I think he is fantastic in it.
Yes.
So, right, there's no goblin.
Thank fucking
whatsoever,
Christ.
Which that's still weird, apart from the bit where you play as MJ and you go into Norman's lab and you see purple...
There's purple balls.
Yeah, which look like pumpkin
and a mask.
And a small... Nothing to do with a glider.
Nah.
which is what you'd think, like schematics for a glider.
Yeah.
Right, so the other villains in it is Mr. Negative,
Yep.
who is pretty much, until the end of the second act, is really the main villain.
Yeah.
So obviously we know that Rhino, Scorpion, Electro, Vulture and Doc Ock are all in it.
I can't, sorry to interject here, but obviously I can't remember, does Mr. Negative ever find out that it's Pete?
No, and that's the thing, obviously, that Doc Ock, Doc Ock finds him working on spider technology, and he's like, oh, it's from, and he's like, oh, it's nice that you know Spider-Man, and then Peter's like, oh my god, it's fine, he just thinks I'm pals with him, but you find out at the end that he's actually known this whole time. Even when he was a total dick to him, because that is the moment where Peter's like, that's it, I don't even know who you are anymore.
What was I say?
So Scorpion, Rhino, Vulture, Electro and Ock are the ones that don't appear until Act 3.
But we know of them.
Yes.
We know of them.
Well, apart from Doc Ock. Doc Ock was never in the...
We knew it for a while.
I like the fact that they changed that. Because, in the one that we got at E3, he was like, oh, it's you. But in the game, he's like, he goes like, he's like, Octavius or something like that.
It's just Otto.
Something like that, it's like Octavius. Like, they changed that. So how do you feel about the representation of all the villains?
I fucking loved them. I feel Scorpion's a bit weird because he was like, sorry for my brutish friend. Like, he was trying to act like he was intelligent. Whereas every Scorpion I've ever met has been.
Well, I think that the two of them were so dumb that they hanged out each other.
Right, okay.
I just feel like Rhino's more dumb.
Oh, yeah, makes it. But representation of them. Rhino's Rhino. Nothing can be worse than Amazing Spider-Man 2. So this was I
also like that. Obviously, it was the Sinister Six.
Yes.
But they all had reasons to work with Ock.
Yeah.
Against Norman. So obviously, Ock hated Norman because he forced him out of the company he helped build.
Yep. And also maybe Harry's actual father.
We'll get and Mr. Negative, Lee.
They actually created him.
He was experimented on and become Mr. Negative, who ended up killing his parents because of it.
Yep.
He promised to help Rhino get out of his suit. He promised to get rid of Scorpion's record.
Yep.
He promised to cure Vulture because his wings is giving him cancer.
Yep.
And he promised to help Electro become pure energy. Well, see, when they said that, I was like, is he going to go blue?
I know that. I remember that you had your worry. But I
wanted it though.
Yeah, but I remember in the cartoons, it wasn't like how Jamie Foxx looked.
Yeah.
It was literally like he was literally light. Like that I wanted that. Like,
I wouldn't have minded that, but again, I also liked that he had a scar on his face that was star-shaped, like from his old costume.
And again, was it because he had the mask on and then something happened, or is it just because he got a lightning bolt to the... Did he look up? Right, he never had his powers and his abilities. He looked up and Thor used his hammer by accident and he was under one of them, and obviously it's a magical lightning bolt and hit him straight in the buzz.
Obviously there was hunters and nods to other villains because you collect backpacks in the games, which is hunters a lot.
My favourite one has to be when I was on top of Avengers Tower
and you find the vial of
sand. He's like, I don't know if he's all in there, but I don't really want to open it.
You find a bit of Mysterio's helmet.
Yep.
And he calls him Fishbowl, which is great. There's obviously stuff from like Daredevil and that. There's like hunters and stuff from...
You see Rand Corporation, you see Jessica Jones.
And one of the other little things is that Oscorp, Doc Ock is working with AIM as well.
Yeah.
So AIM's
but AIM isn't put out as a bad company because he's got like an AIM mug.
Yeah, but that's the thing, like, Peter doesn't know that AIM's bad.
Oh, yeah.
And right now at this point he thinks that he's good.
I think it's really cool. Mysterio's out there. Sandman's out there.
Yeah.
Lizard is out there because you get the vial of his blood. There was no mention. That's
Craven
literally no Craven
Hunter
or H2O, Hydro Man,
which is like my two favourites.
Yeah, they were. I was hoping to go through the park and see something. Have you done the secret pictures?
No, have you done them all?
No, I've not done the secret pictures.
So there might be something.
Yeah, there could be some. Anyway, but the nods to that, like just how they've put it in, because like obviously the bull in Manhattan, that everyone, the Browns bull that everyone knows.
See, before we get into Easter eggs, we have to talk about one thing that we never covered, is the suits.
Okay, right. Let's.
So basically, if you pre-ordered it, you got 3 suits. I pre-ordered it, so I got 3 suits. But it's pretty much like every 2 levels you get, because you level up in it, every 2 levels you get a suit.
Yeah.
Now, even though you might already played it, I'm not going through all of them. I have to just ask, what's your favourite? What's your favourite suits and what's your favourite abilities? Because again, if you are listening to this section, you get abilities with every suit.
Yeah. I only used one ability.
See, after a while, I tested out a couple.
I tried them
to do the crimes.
I thought the rock and roll punk one was cool.
Mm-hmm.
The suit and the ability.
Okay.
I like the I don't know what it is. I just love that suit. I've got the punk one, the noir one, which gives you it goes black and white, but it's kind of a.
So you can't get caught.
It's a stealth, yeah.
If you get caught, you can make them all go, wait a minute, no, I didn't get caught.
Yeah, I like that one. I liked the Armour Mark 1, 2 and 3.
I like the suits, but all the abilities
Yeah,
are the same.
Yeah, the same abilities, but I never used them. I didn't
more
like them.
More or less.
Yeah. I like 3 more than the rest of them.
Yes.
Because that's just
3.
Is it 5? No, we did this before. We had this conversation. Was it 5 or 6?
Is it the shiny one?
Yeah.
6.
Right. 1, 2 and 6.
Right.
The 6 is the coolest one. Then it's... Sorry, my foot. My all-time favourite for it was the Black Cat, which they put in it.
Which was an Insomniac, like it was made for the game. So there's a bit in the game where you know that you collect all the Black Cat statues and you get it's black with a red spider on its back with red eyes and claws like Black Cat.
It's really cool. Also, by the way, Black Cat's in this game.
Yeah, but you don't actually see her.
Yeah, you have you have to go into each area and find tapes where she speaks to you, and you have to find a cat. Ironically, my brother found a cat before he found the tape.
That's weird. Right, so I'll talk about my favourite suits, and then we'll have to talk about end game stuff basically.
Yeah.
Right, so my favourite suit in the entire game was the Big Time Stealth.
Yeah.
Which was the black and green one. It's best wearing it at night because it glows.
Which you gain from doing all of, spoiler, we're in it anyway, Harry Osborn's missions. Because his mum has set up each like little Osborn boxes on top of buildings and does different stuff.
It's a smart way of doing side quests. But so that's my favourite suit. And then there's obviously the Armour Mark 6, which is the shiny one that I really liked. I liked Spiderman 2099.
Yeah.
I really like the vintage one where it makes them look cel shady. I like the last one you get where it's just like a waistcoat like sort of thing. It's like a blazer sort of thing.
Is that the leather jacket one?
Yeah, I really like that one. There's a few I didn't like. I didn't like
Ghost Rider, Soul Spider-Man.
I don't mind that. I really don't.
It looked weird.
It did look weird.
It looked weird. Like, I'm sorry, but that's a whole lot of package.
I did not like the Mark armor, the black and gold one.
The one I made you wear.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all. I wasn't a fan of that.
I love that. I love that you hated that. Then I went, "Do you not like the helmet?" You were like, "Motherfucker! I didn't even know that was a helmet." And then you just hated it again for more.
It just looked stupid in my opinion. But all this something like want to know what the next suit is like made it interesting. My favourite ability was obviously I used the web one quite a lot. Apart from when you fight the Sable guys, because the Sable guys are they're assholes.
Yeah.
They're just immune to it. So I like the quips one. You ever use the quips ability?
Yeah.
It basically just insults them. It's hilarious. I liked the EMP one, that came in handy. Obviously the Iron Spiders with the claws coming out the back, that's just cool in itself.
And how did you feel when you were fighting with them?
It was cool. It just obviously they weren't the only practical uses was just like extra damage. You couldn't use it to like do anything practical with it. So you're right. We've talked. So basically, we have to talk about end game stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
with Doc Ock, I'm sure I said this before. We realised this with Doc Ock. It slowly builds up, and it's not him talking. You look around his area.
You actually help him too.
Yeah,
you help him become
you make
Doc
Doc Ock. We were like, no. I remember sitting in the headset with you. You were playing like, oh, don't do that, Pete. don't do that. Don't be that guy. Don't help him. And we were just like, we are so fucking screwed. We are just, but yeah.
So how did you feel about Miles Morales? Because we may as well talk about that first. As a whole.
Yeah. Fucking jamming. Anyway, Miles Morales. It's a good portrayal of him, and I like the fact that we got to play him a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why he was given some sort of vision power thing.
I think that's just a sense of thing. I feel like the best part to play with Miles Morales is when you are dodging Rhino.
Yes.
That is the best part was Miles Morales. Obviously there was the boss fights in it, which we'll cover as well.
And the bomb bit, which was, he doesn't really do anything, but it's when he has to go and save his dad and his mum.
Yeah.
That is so graphical.
It's
ridiculous.
I think he's a good representation of the character.
Yeah.
Obviously, especially when MJ went to the lab and a spider got on her.
Yeah.
And instantly I was like, go back to Feast.
No.
Feast.
But see the minute you watch that, you go, oh, spider. And you instantly think, oh, that's going to bite Miles Morales.
Yeah.
But see, because it had 42 on the back of it, that, to me that's Miles Morales' spider, because in the comics it had 42 on the back of it.
Fair enough. So you knew before I did.
But it was so fucking. See when they did it. Oh,
because there's that bit at the end credit scene where
he's
like.
Oh, by the way, there's end credit scenes in this game. Just
but
let
the
you
first
know.
one is where he's like, "Oh, Pete, like I'm going through some
And
changes."
Peter's just like, "Well, you're a grown man. And these things happen." He's like,
"Whoa,
"Whoa!"
And then he like jumps on the roof, and then Pete goes, "Well, it's not that strange," and he jumps on the roof.
And they just look at each other. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Right. So we'll quickly cover boss battles. So what was your favourite? What was your worst? We'll do this quickly because I know that.
I feel Lee. No, it's not. That's wrong. I feel like Tombstone.
Was your actual favourite?
It was, but it's because, no offence, and I've said this to you off the microphone. I feel like the bosses are too easy in this game, and I didn't have it set at easy. Like I was set at the normal thing just to play it through. I felt they were too easy, even when it was 2 on 1.
I think it's because the reason why we found it easy is because we did everything.
Yeah.
We were at that, not at that point we were OP, but it's that point that we were so used to the mechanics that it felt easy. In my opinion, my favourite boss was Rhino and Scorpion.
Oh yeah. The two on each other.
No, like in the whole game.
Aye.
That was my favourite.
Wow. Because I feel like it was
it's
the
just
funniest.
The reason why I liked it the most is because I felt like if you got caught once off a Rhino, that was it.
Yeah, you had. I never paid much attention to Scorpion because I know that the minute his acid was coming towards me, I could dodge it. It would tell me. But Rhino was yeah.
That's why I felt like it was my favourite, because obviously Rhino's one of my favourite characters, and it generally felt like if he hits you, you're dead.
What about Shocker? We're fighting Shocker. That was
Shocker was cool. I like Shocker, but he didn't look like an oven glove. And you know what's even better? In one of the backpacks, they find the part of his old suit.
Yeah.
And I was like, why couldn't he just keep wearing the oven glove?
Yeah.
I feel like this is something we're going to bring up on a regular basis, but I just wanted the oven glove.
I would have liked it if Pete had referenced it, like when he looked at the bit and went.
He does in the backpack, but he says like, "Oh, this is a bit of old Shocker's costume. I remember how ridiculous it is until they realise they need an upgrade."
Oh yeah.
But he didn't say it looked like an oven glove.
What do you think about Martin Lee in the end fighting? What do you think about Martin Lee as a character?
I thought he was really good. Obviously, kind of understand where he's coming from, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
another bad guy who we can go, okay, yeah, I get why.
I feel like, the first time you confront him, and when he makes you walk through the remind you of the bombing.
Yeah.
I feel like it was very similar to his last fight.
Yeah.
Apart from when he makes the demon come out and attack you.
See that bit?
Just being there.
Every time I did that, I feel like I was playing Samurai Jack.
Well, this is the thing, right? See why when I thought about this, is that in Arkham, right?
Oh, is this scary?
Scarecrow bit and Spiderman, Martin Lee bit.
Yeah, they're kind of the same.
Same as the Scorpion poisons you and you got to go through the river of poison.
It's just yeah.
How many? See the bit at the end we had to dodge like 4 or 5 different things at once. His tails. Remember, like the last time we go, he brings up like 5 tails at once.
Oh, aye.
I was like, my guy, it was Spider-Man at this point was like,
yeah.
Right, so the last thing I want to talk about, right, well, obviously, how do you feel about Aunt May dying?
Oh, by the way, Aunt May dies. It's so sad.
It's weird too, like, it's not,
yeah.
It's weird, it's, like, I don't understand, like, is it because they never showed Ben going?
Probably. But also it gives you that impact of what happens next. I feel it's going to get to a point where Spider-Man's like, nah, this is too much for me. And then Miles will step in a couple of times, so it gives them that split between.
Well, see, I think that Peter may die in the next one.
I thought he was going to die in this one.
I
honestly thought he was going to die in this one, because he did the whole Spider-Man thing, the whole Superman thing.
Well, see, this is the thing, where the reason why I think he'll die in the next one, and this leads into the next point,
okay,
is that who will he struggle to do the final blow to? Because he'll hesitate. It's Harry.
Oh yeah.
And Harry basically is Venom.
Yes, but we got fucking symbiote showing up.
And obviously now,
this
the bit where the last end credit scene when Norman goes into his thing, and he opens up the tube, I expected it to be goblin related.
I thought it was going to be Harry in a suit, like a full suit.
I didn't think it was going to be Harry at all. I thought it was going to be the goblin suit. And then when I saw a person, I was like, maybe, what is this?
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, if it's going to be Harry, it's clearly Hobgoblin. And then I saw the black liquid.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I know what it is now. But you know what's even better? Is next to it, the G27. The 27, the issue of Spider-Man is the 27.
Yeah.
Is the first appearance of Venom.
So cool.
So it's like the whole about like Miles Morales Spider.
Yeah.
Well, the 27 issue 27 is the first appearance of Venom.
That's so fucking awesome. What did you think? Like, we never really got Norman Osborn, to be honest with you. We saw him a couple of times and we saw a portrayal of him, but what did you think of him?
I thought it was really good, and I understand why he's not the Goblin. But see, after when you play the game and realise of the stuff that he's done and how much danger he's put himself in, and like all the shit he's went through, I can see how it's going to push him into being the Goblin.
Do you think we'll get Goblin before we get Symbiote?
No.
Do you think Harry's going to come out as Venom, or do you think he's going to come out of there and there's that symbiote stuff's left and I bet it goes to Spider-Man?
I think that the next villain is going to be the Goblin, and when Spider-Man keeps getting one up or keeps basically winning against the Goblin, like the Goblin keeps struggling, his resort is going to be Harry and not realise what he's unleashed. What do you
see when the Devil's Breath came out?
Yeah.
When that first came out, did you think it was Goblin toxin?
No.
Did you know?
Because it was the Devil's Breath.
Because I half expected that at the end of the film to turn into Goblin toxin, but then
they could have done that, but that's probably having Harry as Venom is different. But that's probably how I feel like Spider-Man's going to die, because he's going to hesitate.
Yeah. And then Miles Morales is going to have to step in.
Mm-hmm.
I would take away from the comics, because in the comics with Miles Morales, the Spider-Man that
this is its own universe.
And the creative director, I should have said this on the actual normal thing, but the creative director's come out and said that this is the Iron Man of the game universe. Which, just come on, we've got Square Enix coming soon.
So I'm trying to say the last thing we're probably going to do here is
you'll say I'm going to run through a few things that's on here.
Well, Easter eggs. That's what I'm going to say. Like, this is the last thing we're going to do is rattle off some Easter eggs. So just rattle off some of your favourites.
Flash Thompson's been seen in a card, which he finds in a bag, but also Eddie Brock is mentioned, because Eddie Brock. Remember that Feast member? Eddie Brock started a Spider-Man fan club.
Oh, so I never mentioned Eddie Brock. I never heard that.
So we clearly got Eddie Brock from the cartoons. That was a massive Spider-Man fan. Probably still picked on Pete.
Obviously the landmark ones. So there is the Avengers Tower.
Yeah.
There is the Sanctorum Sanctorum.
Yep.
There is the Wakanda Embassy. There is Doom Patrol. There is the Insomniac Labs.
Damage control.
Damage control. Sorry, I don't know what I said. I meant damage control. Yeah, I meant to say damage control. There is also, I don't want to say there's like an industry, but it's not Stark and it's not AIM. There's another one, but I can't remember what it is.
No. what else was there? Shit ton of buildings.
Yeah.
So, the Silver Sable's Sokovia. That was the Sokovia, or something like that.
There was the hundreds of pizza stations. Even some of the suits were Easter eggs. There's the Stark suit. There's the wrestler suit. There's the pajama suit.
Get what you completely forgot?
What?
Taskmaster.
Taskmaster, yeah, he's a villain, yeah. Taskmaster's in it.
The Mole Men have been confirmed by J. Jonah Jameson, because he turned round and he said, I think he turns around and says, I don't see why Spiderman just doesn't join the Mole Men.
So they're confirmed.
And also, see how you get tweets. There was a JJ Jr. says, I can even hear my dad's voice up in space. And from him being in space is where Venom comes down, because it attaches to the spacecraft that he's on.
Okay. Obviously, what else? What others? There's obviously Lockjaw is the big bronze bull in New York instead of the bull.
Yeah.
Ben's grave is in Harlem.
Did you think? So it's not an Easter egg, but I think it popped in my head. Did you seem to think Harry was getting ill as the story went on? Because obviously
a little bit tied into where he was, but then when you're MJ and you break in and you realise he's sick, that's when you obviously the Venom thing never even thought in a million, never thought.
Oh, see that other company you're talking about, was it Roxxon?
Could have been nice.
Because there was a petrol station. I wasn't even looking. I landed, turned around, I was like, fucking Roxxon! That's brilliant.
There's hundreds and hundreds of Easter. We could talk about this for ages, but I think that should be the episode.
Yeah, that's it. That's all my notes anyway.
Well, I've been Fraser.
I've been Callum, and we'll let you hear us next week.
Yes. We also need to give a thank out to Lynn, who's doing our new graphics, which I've had some comments on it. People have been liking it, so I just want to give a thank you to her.